Good morning. There we go, killing two birds with one stone again. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining me. The coffee has not kicked in. I am so tired. Yeah, so remember to use the little thing down here, the question thing, to send in your questions. Tends to work out best. And let me angle this. Yes, everybody else who's doing all the getting ready this morning, glad you're joining me. Plug this in. My coffee order, oh my gosh, if it's warm, if like I need a warm drink, I just get a non-fat latte. But otherwise, I am completely addicted to Starbucks frappuccinos, the coffee frappuccino. So I get a grande coffee frap with 5 pumps of the frappuccino roast because I need it to taste like really strong. Why is no one having sex this season? You're not watching. Yes, they are. They are. And the truth is, I don't know to what extent or anything, because that's not my business, because I don't really care about that. I just want to know that they're connecting and they're feeling like they're on the same page, whether that's not doing anything or doing all the things. Hey, from Atlanta, from Vancouver. Thank y'all so much for joining me this morning. Actually, you're making me wake up a little bit, so that's good. Pumpkin cream cold brew is my addiction. Interesting. I've never been into pumpkin stuff. Which couple do I see going the distance? I see them all going the distance. All right, it's time to get serious about this stuff. Here we go. You really like the advice that I gave Karen and Miles. Thank you so much. I mean, I knew that a lot of you would feel differently once you saw the exchange. Remember, guys, that our meetings are so much more than what we get to all view on the episodes, because it's just not possible nor entertaining to watch 2 to 3 hours of advice and counsel and working through things. So the show does a really good job of giving y'all the highlights so that you understand how we got to like where we were in our time with them. So yeah, I knew y'all would feel differently. I knew that some of you would think that I was siding with siding with Karen versus Miles. And just a reminder, in my position, both in my private practice as a marriage and family therapist and on the show as a relationship and intimacy expert, I am on the side of the healthy relationship. So everything that you hear me share with the couples and any advice or counsel that I'm giving them is for the sake of their healthy relationship. So whenever you hear me say anything that you think, whoa, why on earth? And I have freckles on my ears. Is anybody else? I never knew that until I had done my own, because I dye my own hair to get rid of some of the grays. And I checked to see that I had gotten all the dye off. And I looked and I was like, oh my gosh, that's not dye. I have like major freckles on my ears. So every once in a while, I just remember to put some foundation. Isn't that funny? So I am using Stila All Day foundation and concealer. It's cute because the foundation is like, it's like a little pump, but then this is the concealer at the top. And I learned a while back that you're supposed to put your concealer on after you do your foundation, because you may not need it as much as you think once you put your foundation on. So yeah, so Stila Stay All Day. And So yeah, so I was thinking people are going to be like, okay, why is she saying that? And why doesn't she want them to have intercourse? Guys, I don't care if they have intercourse or not. What I do care about is that they don't get so stuck on the pressure of having intercourse that they forget to have fun in all the other ways that we can have fun intimately. So that's why. Yeah, my daughter also picked up on my freckles as well. So we have to make sure that we're telling them to use sunscreen so that they don't have to do... I don't know how to do that. I don't want to... Sorry, guys. I don't know how to text him that I'm doing this, but I certainly don't want to reject my husband. Honey, if you're watching, I'm so sorry. I promise I couldn't figure that out. I'll call you right back as soon as I'm done with this. So yeah, so with Karen and Miles, I know, I feel terrible. Y'all are gonna see me blush. With Karen and Miles, yeah, it was just a matter of like, okay, if she's feeling so much kind of weirdness about giving him the wrong impression or leading him on, so to say, that she doesn't want to do any of the cuddling and the snuggling, guys, we've all been there. I mean, this is not like, oh my gosh, Karen is a new brand of woman. No, she's just like everyone else trying to navigate the level of physical intimacy that she is okay with. And I'm glad that we were able to find a way in that moment to kind of bridge the gap between them and to help them to realize what was going on. I'm glad that she shared what she was feeling and the pressure that she was feeling. So I'm hoping at this point that that removing the potential expectation for intercourse will allow her to be able to express the other things that she said she was feeling, which was wanting, you know, okay with kissing and cuddling and hand holding and all of that. So we'll see. Fortunately, we get to see because they've allowed us to document everything. Yeah. I know his face. It's funny because during the meeting, he was very like conscious of how anxious and tense Karen was about just my visit. You know, they know I'm like the sex lady or whatever. So, so when she knew I was coming, you could tell she was like really tense. And I'm like, no, like it's okay, not a big deal. You know, it's so much more than that. But he was that, I don't know if y'all noticed, and I don't know if it was on purpose or subconscious or whatever, but he sat kind of between her and I. And I think he's just got like this kind of protective vibe of her. He wants her to feel comfortable, as we can tell. And she really appreciates his efforts. Because could you imagine if it was not that way and she was matched with somebody else who was just like all into themselves and into their own feelings? So yeah, I thought it was funny too. Let's see, I have a question here. Oh yeah, okay, so can you tell us the products you're using as you use them? You always look so beautiful. I'm sorry, I just kind of I forget that that's important. Okay, so this is a Maybelline concealer. It's a really dark one, and I tend to use that to do my contouring. It's a liquid. I like that one. And then I always follow it up and set it with Hoola by Benefit. You'll see this everywhere. Everybody uses this. It's a great color for most people. Good morning. So yeah, that's that. Yeah, so let's see what other questions. Do I think Karen genuinely likes Miles? You know what? I don't know at this point because her actions, okay, let's say this. I can't say for certain that she doesn't like him based off of all of her actions. I mean, I'm a pretty good read of character at times, most of the time, not all the time. I don't think she doesn't like him, but I don't know. I mean, at least the way that she's with him, I don't think that she's... Knowing Karen, she would have just said it already if she like flat out didn't like him or didn't see any, you know, any sort of attraction. But maybe, I don't know, I have to think about that one. Just because, I mean, you see them laughing at times, you see them kind of getting along, and you see Miles continuing to have interest in her. So I don't know. I think so. I mean, I guess maybe that's just wishful thinking, but I think at this point, I would say she probably, I don't think she dislikes him. Like, I don't think she's completely like grossed out by him or doesn't want to be around him. I've seen that before too, and I don't know that that's what's happening here. Now, does she have really strong feelings for him and like wants to be around him all the time and appreciates everything about him? I mean, I think you can see that maybe that's not the case either, because things are not like flowing for them. So there's that. Okay, sorry, let me close that one. My favorite Starbucks drink is a grande coffee frappuccino with 5 pumps of the frap roast to make it extra coffee. Okay. Oh, and this, sorry, I remembered this time, is the Laura Mercier translucent powder. And I'll use that a couple of times. Yeah. And then I have this lighter Maybelline concealer that I'll use sometimes to kind of brighten up and highlight certain areas. All over. Do you think her knowing about Miles before the ceremony for her in her head a little, put her in her head a little? Yeah. I mean, how could it not? I don't know. It's so funny. I would have absolutely stalked. I would have, by the end of an hour, I would have probably known everything. There's no way. While I love surprises and I don't do spoilers, I mean, this is like marriage to a stranger. I would have loved to think that I'm the kind of person who would be like, oh, no. Like, I just won't open the text. I won't look. I won't. Yeah, no. That, and I think with my close friends and family, I probably would have shared it with one of them and they would have been like, oh, you don't have to do it because I've already looked them all up. So, yeah, I totally would have. I mean, now if there was some sort of like contract that told me I couldn't, then I wouldn't, because I'm not a rule breaker. That would have kept me from doing it. But if there's no contract or anything that says you cannot, if you so happen to be accidentally sent an email, then yeah, no. And then this is not what it is in here. I just used the bottle. This is rose water. There's an amazing makeup artist, Eileen Gamma. She does the makeup for Access in Los Angeles, and I've been fortunate enough to have her do my makeup and hair, makeup twice, and I followed a tutorial, and she said that rose water is really good to kind of keep everything. The truth is, I don't know what it does. I forgot. But it smells good and it feels good, so. And you should see her because she knows what she's doing, so whatever she says, I'll do it. Okay, more questions. Y'all, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. No spoilers from me. Okay. I feel like Olivia and Brett are trying to make marriage fit into their lives instead of embracing it for what it is. Well, because they've never been married before, they don't know what it is. So yeah, absolutely, they're trying to make it fit into their lives. That's the path of least resistance, is if you can make it all kind of work seamlessly, of course. But yeah, I mean, I don't blame them for trying to not have to make as many changes right off the bat, for sure. Yes, J-Lo uses rose water. There you go. The authority on all things glam. But she also didn't drink alcohol for I don't know how many years. And she also slept 7 hours every night. So at least that's what I heard. I can't do all that. Brett and Olivia, is he even in this for real? He seems to be more into antagonizing Olivia. Yeah, I don't know what the motivations are, but I can tell you that based off of my my time with each of them, it's not a lack of trying. There's definitely trying. So I think that they're both trying. Are they feeling the results the way that they would like from their efforts? Probably not, which is where the frustration comes in. But that's marriage and that's life. You got to keep trying until something works. Would you do a Canadian version after COVID? I love this show. I love this process. I love all that. So if somebody worked out a way to make it to where I could also do a Canadian version, sure. Canadian love, why not? Oh, okay. Angel, yes, 10 hours. That makes more sense because, yeah, she's, J-Lo, we're talking about J-Lo. She is very well preserved. Yeah, nobody can sleep for 10 hours every night and drink only water. I can't do that. Can I come work for me? Wait, what? Sorry, can I come work for you? Oh, we've got a full slate at my office in Houston. My offices in Houston are full, but thank you so much for wanting to. Okay, next question. What is the most challenging part of your job on the show? Challenging? Oh my gosh. Oh, besides, of course, being away from my family, I just rejected my husband's phone call because I couldn't figure out how to answer it on this. Being away from my family for sure is the toughest part. But actually, on the show, it's that because they're legal marriages, we can't force anybody out. There are definitely times where we're like, man or woman, what are you doing? That's probably the toughest. Oh, sorry, I'm supposed to tell y'all. So Maybelline highlight. Totally matches me. So yeah, that's the toughest part, is that we cannot force anybody out of their marriage. It's a legal marriage. Just like I can't walk into your home and be like, you must leave your partner and get a divorce. That's the same way on the show. It's real life. You can't. And whether or not they're documented, they're still married. So it doesn't, because I've heard people say, oh, well, why can't you force them off of the show? Well, first of all, they're a contract, so they have to do the show. Whether they decide to stay married or not, or even to separate or not, is what I'm saying. During the show, they still have to. It's part of the deal. That's how that's how shows like this go on, because if everybody just left when they got frustrated, nobody would ever get to learn from them. So yeah, that's the challenging. My favorite part, oh, for sure, the people. Well, Dr. Pepper, Pastor Cal, and I, we have a really good time. It's just funny. The whole thing is, it's a lot of fun. We make it a lot of fun. And when it's time to get serious, we're all very serious, very into what we're doing. We take it to heart. So yeah, that's my favorite part of the people. The participants, it's really fun getting to know them, but I don't spend a lot of one-on-one time with all of them throughout the entire season. So it's not usually I end up feeling like I know, I get to chat with them and get to know what's going on after. But during, it's very all business. You're focusing on the marriage. It's all about trying to help them get where they need to be as far as their relationship goals. So for sure, that's what's really different. Okay, what am I doing? So I have this little compact that I travel with. It's from MAC. It's called Semi-Sweet Times 9. And this is kind of my go-to really quick when I don't really want to have to think about the colors I'm putting on my face. So that's what I'm putting on. Okay. Okay. How important is initial attraction? Do you believe you cannot be attracted and then eventually get there? I think that it is very important. It is very important for most, but not all people that come onto Married at First Sight. I think what's great about it is that, but the second answer is yes. I do believe that it can happen. It's happened. It continues to happen. Everyday life, you're going to meet people who said, oh, I didn't even think about my partner that way when I first met them. But then, we kept bumping into each other, and then we kept seeing each other, and then it grew. So yes, absolutely. I think attraction can grow. I wish that it wasn't that big of a deal for some people, just because I feel like it's very scary to kind of not really be initially attracted to the person that you see at the end of the aisle on Married at First Sight. I think things tend to go smoother at first when that happens, but physical attraction isn't going to get you to the finish line. Physical attraction is not going to, as you can see, and you've seen if you've been watching the show for several seasons, physical attraction, that initial physical attraction, does not make or break a marriage. There's just so much work that goes into it. The couples that stay together and do the couples cam show, do you, Pastor Cal, and Dr. Pepper remain in contact with them? I don't know how much they do, but yes, I do. Especially the ones that I've actually matched, and like Greg and Deanna, and Jamie and Elizabeth, and Austin and Jess. Yes. I definitely keep in touch with them. They are very sweet and like to keep me in the loop, and I appreciate that because I really do think about them. I care about them, want the best for them, and I'm always here for them. They know that if they ever need anything, or if they need just someone to bounce ideas off of. So yeah. Okay. I think I'm just going to do like the regular brown kind of palette today. Neutral. That is the word. Neutral. Okay. Better move along. So now I'm using a Lancome mascara base. It's white. It goes on white and it dries clear. And wait, before I do that, I need to curl my lashes. So I learned a while back that you can do the base and just kind of hold it and then let it go. And then I go to the middle of my lashes and then go again. I think y'all are interested in this. I don't know, but might as well. And then I do the other side. One thing I did learn that I actually do, that J-Lo does, is she makes sure she takes her makeup off every night. Which sounds like it's totally a given, but I didn't always do that. Anybody else guilty of that? All right, so now I put on my primer, and I like to do above as well as below. And then if you care, what I typically will do is make sure that there aren't any visible clumps at this phase, because then when you add on the mascara, it won't be as clumpy. And the other day, I realized that my eyebrows were just out of control, like long and like, so I went a little tweezer happy, and I'm okay with it. It's not bad, but I do tend to darken them a bit, just because, I don't know why, but I've always liked it when my eyebrows match like the density of my hair. I don't know, just something I like to do. So I just use some, I'll use my fancy stuff, so I'm not gonna use a powder. This is called Unbelievabrow. It's Unbelievabrow by, who's this? L'Oreal. As you can tell, I'm a drugstore makeup junkie. So it's a gel, and it's like for real, so I'm gonna make sure I put it on carefully and watch as I do. And I put a tiny bit up here because then I can draw it out with the brush. I don't know where the brush is, like the one that I came with. That happens when you're traveling. So I'll just use my little mascara wand. But it lasts, so like even if I wash my face tonight, this tint will stay. It's good stuff. Okay, let's see, what else you're asking. You're always looking at my style and fashion, you think we're friends. Where's my favorite place to shop for clothes? I am a bargain shopper, always have been, likely always will be. Something just, I think, looks better when you got a deal on it. I don't know. I love it when I can be like, I bought these pants for $10. I don't know why. Yeah, so I tend to do like Nordstrom Rack or Off Fifth or Last Call. I'll do some online stores like ASOS, Shein, I think is how you spell it, S-H-E-I-N. I like Shein. I cannot wait for y'all to find out how much my decision day dress was. Okay, that's enough about that. So yeah, let's see. Other than going on Married at First Sight, do you have a recommendation on how to meet a quality partner? I'm happily married, however, I have grown children who struggle in the dating scene. You know, right now, it's really hard to recommend that anybody do anything just because of the pandemic, and everyone's kind of not themselves right now. Everybody's a little bit more anxious, a little bit more tired, a little bit lost. So it's hard to put your best foot forward in times like these. So I am doing my makeup. I'm doing my mascara on the top, just like what I did with my primer. So it's really hard to date right now. I know that it feels like it's going on forever, but really now is the time to focus on staying healthy and working on your own goals. I can do a plug. So I have a community online called Vivid Relationships. It's $10 a month, and it's a monthly subscription. You're gonna get, every week you'll get a new tip, trick, advice, question, prompt, video that will help you to be your best self and to hopefully be ready for what I consider to have a vivid relationship. You want to experience life to the fullest. Like Bennett says, you only love once. Who else loved that? That was like the cutest little mistake. I mean, he's not wrong, but especially like for somebody who is as optimistic about life, I can imagine that he thinks he's only going to love once, but you never know. So yeah, you can go to the drvivianamethod.com or drviviana.com to sign up, but I give lots of little tricks to help make sure that you are keeping track of your health and wellness, especially your mental health and wellness and your emotional well-being, so that you can create relationships that you can be proud of. Let's see. Who are you the closest to from all the seasons? Oh my gosh. I don't know. I tend to talk to all of them similarly. Probably. Oh, you know what? Y'all guess. Guess who of all of the wives that I have interacted with, who do you think I talk to the most from the show? Not from season 11 right now. Not from New Orleans. Let's leave them out. But before that, who do you think I tend to keep in touch with the most? I wonder if y'all are right. Let's see. Oh, brand mascara. L'Oreal, Voluminous, Carbon Black. Gotta be black. It matches everything. Now, my hair, it's not technically black, but it's black enough. Mindy, Beth, Deanna, Elizabeth, Beth. Who's this Beth y'all speak of? This is Elizabeth. Actually, you're right. Yes, Elizabeth. I speak to Elizabeth quite a bit. I also do speak to Mindy quite a bit. Amber, I talk to. Jess. I'm one of those people where you can't really get rid of me. I'm a joiner. Ask my friends and family. You can't get rid of me. Iris, yeah, I talk to her too. But I mean, Elizabeth, ever since I mistakenly thought she called me a bee, we were like this. Actually, had she called me a bee, we wouldn't be like this. So, yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do some neutrals. And then, I gotta call my husband back. He didn't text me right away, so that's probably a sign that he had just dropped off the kids and wanted to check in, but I still need to call him back. Okay. Oh, I need to do my hair. So much happening. Oh, this, just so y'all know, because this is MAC Prep and Prime. It's for lips. This stuff, you know how there's like game changers that you find? This keeps anything on my lips. Ask any hair and makeup person that's ever done my makeup. They never have to touch up my lips unless we just really want to because we've got time. They never have to because, first of all, I don't tend to eat with my lips all over the food, especially when I have lipstick on. But this keeps it on. And for people whose lipstick tends to run, I don't know what that's called, but it's feathers, this keeps it on. It's amazing. Life-changing. Okay, let me do my cheeks real quick. So this is my favorite liquid blush. It's called A Blush, and it is from Armani. I bought this on a girls' trip in Chicago like 3 years ago. It's probably expired. I don't know how this stuff works, but I am not buying a new one of these until it's gone. So I just put like 2 or 3 drops, and see how bright it is? But it's not actually bright because look, you can just kind of, and you're gonna smile just where you would normally get a little bit pink, which I tend to do. Which I used to think was cute until my dermatologist told me it's probably some rosacea. And now it's gone, but now I have to add the pink. So yeah, I love that. Look at that. All of a sudden I'm like awake. And put some curls in my hair. What other questions do y'all have? This is my go-to. It's by Hot Tools. Look at that barrel. Yeah. Okay, you can absolutely tell from the beginning of this video to now that this coffee's kicked in. If I'm more awake than you are out there and I'm just annoying to you, I'm sorry. Somebody wrote, I want miles. Okay, apparently you and like all of America want miles. What's so funny is that you've seen this show, right? So probably you've seen the show in the past. What if next week or the week after or whatever, like all of a sudden Miles does something that's terrible? Are all y'all gonna be like, I never wanted him. He's not the guy, you know, like, Karen, you can keep him. I just think it's so funny. Everybody like loves him. I don't think I've ever witnessed that, at least since I've been on the show, where people just fell in love. Like, women are gaga over Miles. Not that he's the only one being, you know, gaga worthy, but he has been claimed by a million women. It's funny, right? Somebody just wrote, get in line, sis. I think that it's so cute. I mean, I don't know that he watches the show, but if he does, he's got to be feeling pretty good. Or nervous. Will they continue to like me as much as they do? Or will they turn on me in an instant? Oh, more questions. Let's see. How important do I think sex is in a marriage? I mean, it really just depends on the type of connection you have. I do think that if both of you believe that sex or intercourse, I don't know what you're referring to. I'll assume sex is all sexual activity. I think that if you both believe that it adds value to your marriage, because you're talking about marriage, then why not add it to one of the things that you can do to feel closer to each other? Now, if it's the only thing that you do to feel connected and close, then you're probably cutting yourself off at the knees, because we have physical bodies and our physical bodies don't always work the way that we want. So I believe it should be one of the ways that you show each other and express your feelings towards each other, but if it's the only one, it's probably not going to be a long-term gift. Let's see. La 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 la. What does it mean when your boyfriend doesn't want to be bothered and doesn't want to talk to you? Well, are we talking about for an hour? Are we talking about for a weekend? Are we talking about for months? I would say that that's probably not a good sign if your partner is ignoring you and doesn't care about you or your needs. It's travel size, so whatever this is that you can get at all the travel stores. SG Salon Graphics, Mega Hold, yes. My hair is heavy, and unless I spray it a lot, it won't last all day. So yeah, if you're having trouble with feeling wanted, needed, loved by your partner, and they won't listen to you or they won't address your needs, if you feel like it's worth investing the time and energy in therapy, going to therapy either by yourself or with your partner, which would be optimal, then go ahead and do it. But if you feel like you don't really have the feelings there to even want to try, then I would say move on, because it's an uphill battle as it is. And if you don't have anybody cheering you on along the way and saying, hey, we can do this, it's that much harder. Okay, how do you know if this relationship is the one? This is the best guy I've been with, but I think I overthink situations, which makes me overthink our relationship. Okay, a lot of overthinking in that one. Did you overthink the question? Just kidding. I think that if your partner feels like they highlight you and that you can highlight them, and that you not just bring added value, but you bring added joy, and you bring consistency and kind of that feeling of like they really do help and add to your life, I don't see why that wouldn't be the one. Now, if your partner feels like a killjoy, like they're just another dependent, they don't really feel like, it doesn't feel like a partnership, doesn't feel like you, doesn't feel like you really gain anything by having them in your life, then you should definitely have a conversation about that, because maybe they don't realize that that's how you feel, and you need to give them a chance to change. Because I do believe people can change. Hi, thank you. Okay. Sometimes I do the whole thing where you go in opposite directions, but most of the time I just forget, and I do it all in the same direction. You're welcome. So there's a little question mark down at the bottom. It looks like one of the little app things. You can press that to add a question. Okay. What should you do if your partner loves you but is scared to fully commit? I think it's really important to figure out what, I don't know what fully commit looks like. If maybe you could put what you're talking about, because commitment looks different to everybody. So I don't want to assume you mean like legal marriage or not dating other people, so being exclusive. I'm not sure exactly what you mean, but hey, New Zealand. Shouldn't you be asleep? Wait, what time is it there? I don't know. Seems like it would be late or early. Thanks for joining. Yeah, so as far as scared to fully commit, it could be that they're scared about the finances. It could be that they're scared about only being monogamous with the same person forever. It could be the legal stuff. Like, I don't really know. I guess you'd have to elaborate, please. Okay, he told me he doesn't want to have sex because I stress him out, and then I find myself asking all the time for it and getting rejected. Okay, stress boner killer. Yeah. For anyone, but especially for men. So if you find that even the simplest thing, you know, upsets your partner or makes him like, oh, you're stressing me out, well, that's different. But if you find that you are bringing drama to something that doesn't need the drama, doesn't want the drama, that's not sexy. And most people, and especially men, are not going to be down for adding drama. Save the drama for your mama. That's stressful, okay? So don't do that. But if it's like, hey, what were you doing today? Oh, you're stressing me out. Don't ask me that. Okay, well then he's just got problems. He needs to, you know, make sure he's doing some stress coping mechanisms, because you're just being a normal person and that stresses him out. That's not cool. You don't want to have to walk on eggshells. That's the worst. The worst is when you feel like you're walking on eggshells. What's the point? What's the point of living with someone else if you feel like you have to walk on eggshells and there's no end in sight? That's terrible. Thank you, Queenology. I try. As you can see, I try. I try to be presentable, professional, classy, all those things, because it's fun and because it lives forever. There are people who are watching season 9 like for the first time today. Like they will be watching season 9 today. So I'm very aware. It's 2:45 in New Zealand. Oh, congrats. I hope my voice doesn't wake him up. I know you're probably trying to get him to go back to sleep. Oh, I remember those days. Yeah, but I definitely try to look presentable and to look TV ready, whatever that means. Oh, thank you. If anybody is interested in the details of the things that I'm wearing on the show, I started a style page because I figured not everybody on this account would necessarily be interested in all that. But I was getting so many DMs, and my stylist, Louisa, was getting a ton of DMs about the jewelry, about the dresses. We're like, you know what? Let's have fun with it. Let's put a style page together. So anytime you see me in the media or on TV, I'm adding all of those looks to my style page, and it's Dr. Viviana Style. Pretty easy. Good morning, everyone. All right. Pretty simple hair today. And I don't tend to, see, look, it's already dropping. Look at this one. It's like gone. So I don't even bother turning off my curler until I'm out the door, because look, it just like falls. You saw me curl this. I curled it. It's not there. So yeah. Yeah, go follow my style page. It's fun. It's different. It's not like my normal page, but it's good. Oh, pinning it as I go. See? You're smart. I guess I could do that. Oh, that's one more thing to have to do, but it probably will work so much better. I am so excited about the Houston season. You have no idea. I was freaking out for several reasons. The main one being that I don't have to travel for work and be away from my family. Woohoo! And the other, because it's Houston, I get to bring love to Houston. You know, we don't film a lot of stuff in Houston, so I'm like super excited that we get to film. Yeah. excited. And for anybody who's interested in casting, go to Kinetic Content Casting on Insta, and you can send questions and apply and all that. The application for the Houston area is MAFS11.castingcrane.com. This is a Morphe continuous setting mist. So this is kind of like at the end, kind of do this, it smells good, it feels good, and it makes it last. And it's like a matte finish, so there's not too much shine. I just started using highlighter every once in a while because I thought it made me look sweaty, but everybody who puts it on looks amazing. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna start using highlighter. This is from Benefit. It's called What's Up? What's Up? Anytime I hear Watt as a Houston girl, all I can think of is JJ Watt. And then I think about his wife because she's amazing too. Highlighter. There, there, there. And then I feel like I'm already naturally highlighted here for some reason. Okay, I have to go. I hope, do it on my Cupid's bow. I know what that means. There. Thank you. That's what we should do. Is I should like start and y'all just give me all sorts of information on what I should do. All right. Everyone have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me. I hope you are safe and healthy, and thanks for asking all your questions.